Hi, families. I am here at home after our field trip today, trying to get my master's homework done and also make sure that tomorrow you guys feel as comfortable as possible with accessing Seesaw at home. And while I will have office hours, I want to make sure that you have this video as well just to see where to go in case your kiddo blanks out at home and doesn't remember how to get to Seesaw. So, as you can see on my note here, I wrote down some things I wanted to remind you of. Your student has 3 activities to do tomorrow. Um, there is a reading lesson. It is available on Seesaw, or the packet was also sent home in your yellow folder yesterday before all of the weather. So if something happens with your computer, you can't get on, it's not working, worst case scenario, you always have that yellow packet. It's the exact same lesson, just in a paper format. We prefer you try as best as you can to do your activities online because that will allow us to show that we have technology support at home and then hopefully have better access to more technology integration in the future in the classroom. And it's also something that we're working on to see where we have a need for technology at home, where we can help support by getting internet at homes, getting computers, what we need for our students. So if you can, computer be great. If not, you have those packets. So you've got your reading lesson, you have your math lesson, which is also on Seesaw or the packet in your yellow folder. And then they have the related arts lesson. 3rd grade tomorrow is doing music, and that is only available unplugged. So it is in a packet in their yellow folder. If you don't use the packets for reading and math, you do it on Seesaw. That's wonderful. Just go ahead and recycle those packets. And if you do complete them on the packets, unplugged all of it, then just go ahead and turn in all 3 packets when you're ready. As you can see here, this is very important. You will have until Wednesday, February 19th to turn in the assignments. So they have tomorrow, they'll have the weekend, they have Monday, which is President's Day, and they get one more school day as per district policy to turn in their assignments. So Wednesday, February 19th is the last day that they can turn in the packets or have submitted that work on Seesaw. And just a reminder, if this video is not helpful and you still have questions, my office hours are from 9 to 10:30 and 1 to 2. I'll be sitting at my desk at those hours, ready by the phone, but you can email me or Seesaw message me all throughout the day, and as I'm able to with what we're also doing at school that day, I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. So this is for laptop Chromebook computers. If you have an iPad or a tablet, this will be different, especially if it's an iPad. Expect other instructions on my email from that. So on the Chromebooks or your tablet or laptops or desktop computers, the website we want to go to is clever.com. And so that is where you will go. And on this website, hopefully this will start to bring all of the information back to your kids. They want to click here as login as student. Now this is the tricky part. It's super annoying. And I'm sorry, I did not do this. But here, all the kids want to type in Forest Glen. That's our school. However, on Clever, for some reason, our name is FG. So once you type in FG, it's the first school here in Lawrence Township. Once you click on that, you might get this logo. You want to click on the rainbow squares. And it will take you to our portal page. So on the portal page, here we go. Their username is their 00 number. So it's 00 something. It looks like that. No ats, nothing else, just that number. That is their user ID. Their password is, they know their password. I promise you they know their password. But just in case they forget, it is the first letter of their first name capitalized, the lowercase letter of their last name, and then it is their birth date in 6-digit format. So January 10th, 1988 would be 011088, for example. So that's their password. I'm going to change mine back so I can get into my portal and show you what it looks like. will take you here to the portal. Here we go. So there may or may not be things at the top here. It depends because they can customize it. But worst case scenario, if you are not seeing these icons, scroll down and you'll see them at the bottom of the page. You want to find the one that's that weird bow looking thing. It says Seesaw. Click on Seesaw and it will take you to their Seesaw portfolio page. Now there is one more little trick because each student has multiple classes in Seesaw. So they have one for music, they've got one for art, they might have one for PE, and they've got one for a morning and afternoon class if they were to have two teachers. So it's very important, as you can see here on mine too, I've got nothing going on. That is not representative. You got to come up here to the top corner, click on their name, and go down to the purple globe. That one, where all the badges are, and you'll have a lot of notifications for them, is where they want to go. So when they come here, it will show their journal, it will show their activities that they have completed. So you can see here I've got some student work waiting for me to look at. And you'll come over here to activities, and the last two activities are your e-learning day activities. So here you've got your reading lesson, here you have your math lesson. Now, it looks a little crazy when you go into one of these lessons. They both have the same cover page, which is the lesson template. So if I just add a sample here, pretend I'm a student, they're going to click on add response. They know how to do that. We do it every day. And you can see on this pane over here all the different pages as if it were a packet. So this is their lesson summary, their learning targets. If you go on to page 2, it will tell them their success criteria, what they need to do in order to be successful here. It's in green for Spanish. 3 is the last part of the lesson plan. So task 1, what should they do? And the instructions. This is really important for them to look at. Task 2, what are the directions? What are the instructions? Last page is the last activity they'll be doing. Altogether, their math should take them about, well, this is the reading, isn't it? So this might take a little bit longer. Their math should only take about maybe 40 minutes at maximum, I would say. And then reading, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how they read and find the evidence. So this is reading. I'm sorry, I got confused. So when you go to page 5, that's their first task. It's their DLR. They will complete this using the tools on the screen. I put a reminder here, but I really suggest going back up here to the instructions and looking and seeing what they're supposed to be doing based on the tasks. Look for those tasks. That will tell you the instructions very clearly. And then they'll check their DLR. They will read this text, which is called Zebra and Wasp. It is a fable. They will answer questions about Zebra and Wasp. There are 3 multiple choice, 1 short answer. And then finally, there's a discussion question about it where I want them to use this typing tool here and type out answers. Now, just so you can help them, you can see here when I type, it is very large. I suggest that they type whatever they can, and then once you click away, you can either enlarge it or make it smaller. So that way, when we get here, I can move this, oopsies, I can move this to be much wider, and then I can keep typing here to get a good long paragraph. Once they have everything perfect, they will click on this green check up here. Once they save it, they can go back and edit it. But if they haven't finished every task, remind them to save it here as a draft. When they do that, I can still see what they're doing, but it does not delete their progress. It will save it. It's like a save as on a Word document. It is harder for them to go back in once they've finished it. They don't know how to do that. So really encourage them to save it as a draft if they're going to eat lunch, go to the restroom, save it here so they can go back in. If they do that, they can save it as a draft. I will see what they've done so far, but then they can go back in to their activity here. See, it says draft visible to you. They can go back in and continue working on it. Edit, and we're back in. So they'll do their lesson once they finish all of their tasks. I really highly recommend that you encourage them to go back and check on the lesson page the tasks and the instructions. Those are very specific as to what I'm looking for. And then if they've checked everything, and they can even write on here like, read each question carefully. Did I do that? Okay, check, and you can write a little check mark there. That way I know they've checked it. Once they're done, green check will save it. I won't save this for a little sample, but they'll green check and it will be submitted. And once it's submitted, you will see it on their portfolio. So once again, under activities, you have your reading, you have your math. I'll show you your math real quick if you'd like. It's 7 pages, whereas the reading is 9. That's just because maybe the instructions were more intricate here, and there was that last page for typing. So the math lesson is the same. They'll add the response, but you do have until February 19th to turn that in. So hopefully that helps you get onto Seesaw. And if you are using an iPad, look in your email for the QR code you need to download the app. So once again, if you got any questions, let me know. Email me, Seesaw message me, and I look forward to seeing everyone's responses tomorrow, hopefully on Seesaw, but if not, I'll get them next week in your packets.